Ashwin Patil is with us. He's equity analyst with LKP Securities. Ashwin, good morning. Good to have you with us here. Thanks very much. Let's just start with Bajaj and Hero, and Bajaj specifically. Exports were down meaningfully, and that dragged down the overall number. What did you make of the December number from Bajaj?
Bajaj has been facing pressure in the export market since last couple of months that we have seen. Mainly the pressure is coming from the African markets where there is shortage of dollar currency. Availability of that is very less right now, and that is leading to some demand pressure. And in the markets other than Nigeria, also in Nigeria there are some other issues, but other markets in the African continent are facing that particular issue, and that is leading to the exports plummeting actually, and that has led actually to the Bajaj numbers to come flattish. If you look at the domestic numbers, then they have grown at about 16%, and going forward also we think that with the three-wheeler permits coming out in Maharashtra, now 50,000 permits are out, and expected this number to go up to 1,50,000 in the next couple of months. That will be providing a good fillip to the three-wheeler numbers, and also in the two-wheeler side. In the domestic market, City 100 is doing well, though it's facing competition, but it's one of the best performers of Bajaj. So less concerns are there in the domestic markets, but exports are actually facing issues. There are the Latin American markets are also facing a lot of they are actually skidding as compared to dollar. If you look at Colombian peso or Argentine currency, there is a lot of pressure, and that is one of the things that's the major thing what is impacting Bajaj's exports performance.
I spoke with the management and they said that February will be subdued again, but hopefully January and February, hopefully by March or so, things can pick up. The shortage of currency, etc., dollars.
Yeah, that's quite.
So there is, yeah. What does it mean for the stock? Numbers will come in as well for the quarter. What does it mean for the stock here, Bajaj?
See, that's anybody's guess. I mean, we even the management maybe like just making their estimates that March would be better, things would improve by March, but we actually don't know actually what would be how would the currencies fare by that time. So I think that this quarter again there will be some softness in Bajaj's numbers, Jan, Feb, March as well, and overall full year I think they will be coming out with flattish kind of numbers only. Maybe like maximum it will be like 1 or 2% growth on for FY16. So I think Bajaj is slightly in the softer lane at this point in time.
Right. No, the stock also should settle here, or you think it will drift down if this quarter and then the next quarter also will be slightly slower only? By the management's own admission, I'm not buying their argument that statement that things will pick up in March. Maybe they won't, but they're not seeing a pickup in the next 2 months at least. So at 2,500, how does Bajaj look to you?
Absolutely. Bajaj will linger in these ranges, and in this range itself, maybe like 5% downside from these levels is quite possible. And see, the main driver for Bajaj will be the performance of three-wheelers in the domestic markets, because the permits getting opened will be providing a good fillip or a boost to the Bajaj numbers, and that may have some 5% upside from these levels. So I think that there is a range for Bajaj to move at this point in time, 5% upside and 5% downside. So just the stock will be roaming in that particular range.
Hero, let's come to Hero. Is the situation broadly similar from a stock perspective, Ashwin?
Yes, absolutely. We are actually neutralish to slightly negative on the two-wheeler bunch itself. If you look at Hero, there are some other issues that the company is facing. Its presence in the export markets is less, actually minimal. So the issues that Bajaj is facing over there, Hero is not facing, and the issues what Hero is facing in the rural markets, Bajaj is not facing. But both are facing issues. That's the issue. So, in the rural markets, because of poor rainfall, poor monsoon, and expected winter to be not that harsh in the northern regions of the country, even Rabi crop is expected not to be that great. So going forward, I don't think that Hero also will be able to punch great numbers. 5 lakh, 5 lakh 10,000, maximum 5 lakh 20,000 in the month of March, which is one of the best months for most of the auto companies. That kind of numbers Hero will be punching. But overall, I don't think that this year, even maybe the first quarter of next year, will be great for Hero. Everything depends on monsoon, how monsoon pans out in the coming year. In FY17, that is one of the features, a main feature what Hero will be looking out at.
Okay. For Ashok, Eicher, TVS, which are Tamil Nadu based companies, do you expect third quarter results to be impacted quite badly? Because December numbers don't show that, right? I mean, the hit is lesser than expected, lesser than thought.
Yes, absolutely. See, December, the incessant rains in Chennai were there only in the first week, and that too, they were not that harsh or badly, as bad as it was seen in November. In November, we saw that Ashok Leyland actually didn't get impacted at all, because see, Ashok Leyland is having its plants mainly out of Chennai. Only its Ennore plant is there in Chennai, which got impacted. But when we spoke to the management, they said that there is a lot of flexibility in production in all of their plants, and that's why nothing got impacted even in the month of November or December. And if you speak about TVS, TVS lost about 15,000 to 25,000 units in the month of November, and that will be impacting their 3Q numbers to some extent, up to that extent. And Eicher Motors faced some issues also in November, because most of the production happens in the Tamil Nadu region. So even Eicher Motors numbers may get impacted up to some extent. But among the three, I think Ashok Leyland is the best placed, as its factories are spread out across the country. Not much of issues they have faced in this particular quarter. And if you look at the numbers, December numbers, 35% growth, I mean, that is really very, very commendable. And we are very much positive on the stock, and I think that the company is actually doing really great, both on volume front as well as the margins front.
Tata Motors, what's the call on the stock? I mean, stock sold off big time yesterday, China related, but light commercial vehicles grew after many months, right?
Yes, that was a surprise that the company threw, and we need to see whether that is sustainable or not. That is one of the big pointers that we would be seeing over the next quarter. MHCVs, as expected, have actually a bit moderated, because the base of last year was high, as well as BS4 got implemented in October. So some issues on the MHCV side we may see. I mean, the growth may get moderated, but if you see on YTD basis, still it's a great 22% growth on the MHCV side for Tata Motors. And I think if the growth remains in the lower single digit for the coming months as well, 18-20% of growth we may see for MHCV, and that is expected for this year. Now, speaking about the LCV side, the company has faltered over the entire industry has faltered over the last couple of years, and now this month has shown some ray of hope, some green shoots we have seen in this month, but we need to see whether it is sustainable or not. So that is one of the great thing only which we can pick out from Tata's numbers. Otherwise, cars as well as MHCVs as well as UVs have actually faltered.
Ashwin, thank you. Thanks for your time. Good speaking with you. Appreciate you joining in.